What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Man, so it's your host with the most. It's your boy 100, aka 100 Don, aka Chaz, aka Orion, man. We getting it in. Alright? We getting it in. And I want to go over some stories that have been going. I want to go over some news, some current news that's been happening. And just trying to pull up everything right now. All right, so check it out. All right. So let me get everything situated. Share my screen. All right. Without any further ado, let's get it popping. Now, pedophile DJ Kid accused of infecting over 600 black girls and women with HIV. All right.
Will in a room of his home to perform sex acts. One of the victims listed.
Let me run it back so we can get the whole story.
As Pope lived next door to him for several years. He says he's seen numerous young girls stop by.
They looked like they were very young, underage maybe. And they stayed over some, and then they would disappear.
Documents obtained by WMBF News show in July, Pope held young girls against their will in a room of his home to perform sex acts. One of the victims, listed as 17 years old, said Pope gave her, quote, money and other things for sex. Other reports detail incidents from September to December of 2017 where Pope extorted young girls for sex. One listed as young as 13 years old, marijuana and money to have sex with him. The report shows the victim told the officer a condom wasn't used and was concerned Pope had a sexually transmitted disease.
What's your reaction now that you find out everything he's arrested for?
For his daddy and mother, it's a bad situation all the way around. I feel.
Okay. Y'all see that? Now, what's interesting is he's been doing this shit for years. He's been doing this shit for years. These allegations of him have been surfacing for years. All right? For years. Okay? Now, I want to go through another story.
It have to be like that.
Jefferson thankful for their final.
Let's go to this next story right here. Now, we all know of the lady Atatiana Jefferson, who was murdered by a race soldier in Fort Worth, Texas, in her own home. She was innocent, unarmed. And the father of Atatiana came out and spoke on the incident. And let's see what he has to say about this situation.
It have to be like that.
Jefferson thankful for their final words.
I texted her, said I love her. And she texted me back, said I love you too.
The two shared a very special bond.
When she was growing up, I read to her a lot. I bought her a lot of books. Ooh, she loved to read. She reads all the time. Her mother tell me she in there reading.
Reading fueled her passion for learning.
Hi, my name is Atatiana Jefferson, and I'm doing lab exercise 5.
Jefferson going on to get a pre-med degree from Xavier University. Currently, she was working in pharmaceutical equipment sales, saving up for medical school.
She had hope. She had dreams. She had aspirations. We've lost them for no reason. I've seen many cases like this where you think that they would have learned from it.
I like this Bolton, John, G. I don't want no hug. That's my one and only daughter.
Right on. Right on. I don't want no hug. I don't want no hug. See, that's the type of spirit that we need to have. And I like how cool, calm, and collected they are. But but they're deliberate in their message. I appreciate how cool, calm, and collected they are, at the same time deliberating their message and showing these white supremacists, showing the dominant society that we are not forgiving these race soldiers for carrying out these attacks. All right. And they didn't have to scream and cry and beg and plead in order for them to say what they had to say. They was cool, calm, and collected. They understand that they are in a system of white supremacy. They understand that all that emotional shit is not going to help them. It's not going to benefit them. So they're cool, calm, and collected. They saying whatever they have to say, and they're not looking for no payouts. They're not looking for. I mean, let me take that back. I wouldn't say they're not looking for any payouts. I don't know if they're looking for any payouts or not, but I will say this: they want justice. They want justice, just like we all want justice. We want these race soldiers to be punished for the crimes that they commit against us. We want them to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Period. And as a matter of fact, we don't just want them to be convicted of the crimes that they commit, but we also want federal hate crimes being pushed on those who commit attacks against Black society. All right, especially when dealing with law enforcement. All right, we need these hate crimes to be enforced. Okay, so shouts out to this family. Shouts out to Atatiana Jefferson's family. Shout out to them for being real, and hopefully they maintain that energy throughout the case and through the conviction. And hopefully after the conviction, they're not doing things to give an impression that they want leniency on the murderer's sentence. Okay, we don't want no leniency. We don't want any leniency. We want to throw the book at these people. Okay. Another story I want to go over: man makes teens cover up the N-word they wrote on sidewalk near school. All right.
Why do you guys write something like that? Why? I mean, what's the cause for it? I mean, seriously, I'm not gonna put you guys' faces on there. But you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You two over there, you should be ashamed of yourself.
We're not even gonna be ashamed.
I'm not even ashamed of my beliefs.
Your beliefs?
Yeah.
You see what they're saying? Hold on. He's saying, why would you write something like that? He said, why would you write something like that? What's the cause for it? I'm not going to put your faces on there, but you guys need to be ashamed of yourselves. And he said, you two over there. So apparently there was another white supremacist over there that he was referring to over here. Get off the chair, sweetie. And he said, you should be ashamed of yourself. So then they respond, I'm not even going to be ashamed. All right, I'm not even going to be ashamed. Look what we have going on in our country.
Why do you guys write something like that? Why? I mean, what's the cause for it? I mean, seriously, I'm not gonna put you guys' faces on there. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You two over there, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not even gonna be ashamed.
I'm not even ashamed of my beliefs.
Your
Look
beliefs?
at that hat. Look at the hat he's wearing. He's wearing a Confederate flag hat. He's wearing a Confederate flag hat. All right. So clearly he comes from a family of white supremacists. See, we need names. We need names. Before you get into the you should be ashamed and this and that and a third, you need to find out who you is. You need to find out who these people are. What's your name? I'm not asking you, but good job. But you need to ask these people what their names are. Exactly. You need to ask these people who they are.
Why do you guys write something like that? Why? I mean, what's the cause for it? I mean, seriously, I'm I'm not gonna put your guys' faces on there. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You two over there, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not even gonna be ashamed.
Right, I'm not even ashamed of my beliefs.
Your beliefs? Whoever raised you is wrong. You guys should be ashamed of yourself.
My mama and my daddy raised me.
I know, but still, come on, guys. This is public property. Kids walk back and forth from school.
And trust me, I ain't the only person.
I know, but still, kids walk back and forth from here back and forth.
You hear that? Trust me, I ain't the only person. I ain't the only person. Stop. I ain't the only person. So this is why you need to get their names. Get their names. Get these people's names. Make them stand on their beliefs. Don't let them fucking go amongst themselves, all segregated and in secret and doing all this shit. Because they're doing this in secret. That's why they're covering it up. They're covering this shit up now. They're covering it up. So they're doing it out in the open, but they're not doing it out in the open. They're doing it out in the open in these segregated neighborhoods. They're not doing this shit in black neighborhoods. They're not going in black neighborhoods and writing nigger on nothing. They're too scared of black people to do that. So they're going to go amongst themselves and they're going to write nigger, this, that, and the third. They're going to talk about black folks and talk about how we look like some monkeys and this, that, and the third. So, yeah, man, these people are not going to be out in the open with their racism. They're going to be out in the open amongst their people. They're going to be in the suburbs doing this shit. And a lot of people think like this. And look at this guy. This guy clearly is a white supremacist based off of his hat. And if they're letting him wear shit like this to school, then the school is condoning racism. And then the school needs to be put out in the open for harboring white supremacists at that school. So who are you? What school do you go to?
All the time.
That's what we need to be asking. Okay? So that's what we need to be asking. Who are you? What's your name? Matter of fact, no, fuck that. What's your name? What's your name? You don't want to tell me your name? Then obviously you know that there's something wrong with what you're putting there. You know what I'm saying? Put them on Front Street. Get these people's names. And they're going to run. They're going to run. Of course they're going to run. But show these people that they can't stand on their beliefs. If anything, they don't want to tell you what their name is, then be like, well, shit. If these are your beliefs, then stand on your beliefs. What's your name? Are these your beliefs? Then why are you afraid to stand on them? I can't make you not be racist. I can't make you not be racist. But goddamn it, if you're going to participate in something that's going to affect my well-being, and this is your beliefs, you better stand on your beliefs. Don't be secretive about it, because that makes me feel like you plotting on my people. Don't be secretive. Don't be secretive about it. You know what I'm saying? Because now I got to investigate you. I'd rather you be out in the open with your shit, with your racism, like Trump. Be out in the open with what you got to say. Say what the fuck you got to say. Quit being all scared. And this is the problem that we have in our country. We got a whole lot of white supremacists that don't even want to stand on white supremacy, but then they want to practice white supremacy behind closed doors. And this goes all the way up to the executive branch. This goes all the way up to the executive branch. You know what I'm saying? Many white people have those same beliefs. Many white people act accordingly. Adults, not children. Adults. And the children learn from the adults. Okay? But yeah, man. Okay, hold on. Also, I want to go over a couple other things. Now, we had that story or that court case with Amber Geiger, and Tammy the Mammy, the judge, gave her a hug and gave her a Bible, and she did a little press run, mammy-splaining about why she was so lenient and why she was so caring towards a murderer, a convicted murderer at that. So,
ask you about the bailiff and explain to us what happened there.
So basically, she was asked about the bailiff who went to Amber Geiger and started stroking her hair. Bailiff. The bailiff was doing that to Amber Geiger. Everybody in the fucking goddamn that was involved in the trial damn near gave this bitch Amber Geiger a hug. Goddamn. Botham family, Tammy the Mammy, the bailiff. Goddamn, the jurors over here forgiving her. I mean, this is ridiculous. And then you have Tammy the Mammy out here trying to nigga-splain on why she was acting like a mammy.
Ask you about the bailiff and explain to us what happened there. So much of this, you have the answers to far more.
I do.
What happened in that moment?
So Miss Geiger had been found guilty.
Okay, now look at this. Look at this. You can see in the background right here. I'm sorry that it's so small. But you can see in the background right here.
Far more.
I do.
What happened in that?
You see her patting her hair down, stroking her hair. All right, run it back. Hold on. Look at that. Did you see that? Stroking her head. And if you've seen at the beginning, this man right here, her superior is sitting right here. What's interesting, he's pointing at her, basically instructing her to pat her hair down, to caress her hair. It's the strangest thing. You see where his finger is? Look, he's pointing at her like, go ahead and make her feel better. You understand what I'm saying? He's over here pointing in front of her, signaling to the bailiff to console her. Now let's look to see what Tammy the Mammy had to say in her defense.
So Miss Geiger had been found guilty of murder, and I had held her bond insufficient, which means she was not free to move about. She was in the custody of the sheriff's department. However, we were on a lunch break, and I couldn't send her to the jail to be frisked. So we asked a female bailiff to stay with her throughout the lunch break. And if you know anything about the jail, you got to search every part of a person, including their hair, because we have people smuggle contraband and weapons in all manner of ways.
She was searching her hair.
Yes, she was accused.
What? I know y'all ain't gonna believe that, family. I know y'all ain't going for that. First off, you patting down for weapons or anything, you have somebody stand up and you pat them fucking down. Okay? You pat them down. Pat them down and search them. And then you do the other shit. You put gloves on. When you're searching through people's hair, you put gloves on. Searching for weapons or contraband or whatever. You don't just put your hands in there barehanded searching for shit. And matter of fact, if you're searching through somebody's hair for contraband, you're not going to be patting it down and fixing it. No. You don't do any of that shit. When you're searching through somebody's hair, you're going in their hair searching. She's not doing that. She's not doing that. So that was a lie. Another thing is, you are not allowed to go in the courtroom. They search you before you get in the courtroom. You're not allowed to go in a fucking courtroom with any weapons. So why would they have to? And then if they went on break, then why would they have to search her in the courtroom if she wasn't leaving the courtroom? If they were going to search her, why wouldn't they wait until she's getting booked to be searched? They search you when you are about to be admitted into prison. Nigga, when you're booked, you're getting searched. She's not getting booked. She's not getting booked. So that was a bold-faced lie that Tammy the Mammy said. And that's her name, Tammy the Mammy. That's her name, Tammy the Mammy.
Of stroking her hair, but actually what she's looking for is
She's stroking her hair.
weapons. And they do.
She's accused of stroking. Nigga, she's stroking her fucking hair. And look at her. Look at her face. Look at the host face. She's looking like, bitch, I know you ain't going. I know you ain't. You don't expect me to go for this. Look at her face. She's like, bitch, please.
And they do that to every female. So if you come to the Dallas County Jail, they're going to remove your...
This is why we do this show.
Do you hear everybody laughing at this bullshit? They're laughing. Listen to the crowd laughing. They're all laughing like, this bitch is lying.
They're going to remove your...
She's about to
so
fucking
if you come
laugh.
to the Dallas County Jail, they're going to remove your...
You hear everybody laughing at this woman? And she's over here about to laugh her damn self because she knows how ridiculous it sounds.
This is why we do this show. This moment went viral.
And then everybody start clapping because everybody's instructed to. Everybody's instructed to clap. Okay? So yeah, man. This is what we have, man. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. We got black people amongst us that are undermining a pro-black agenda for black Americans. And we can't afford that anymore. We can't afford that anymore. You understand? All right. So enough of that. We already know how big of a mammy she is and how big of coons the Botham family is. I don't want to talk about that case anymore because, black society, black Americans are just upset and disappointed everywhere. And we was not playing when we said that this case will set a precedent for us to be targeted by race soldiers because of how lenient they were with Amber Geiger. And what happened right after that? Atatiana Jefferson was murdered in her own home by a race soldier. Now, next story. Okay. Now, this is the last thing I want to talk about for right now. Okay? This is the last story for this video. Now, we got this drag queen stripping for kids in the King County Library. Stripping for kids. Now, the LGBT community, this is on y'all. This is on y'all. And my line of questioning is directly to the LGBT community. Why the fuck do you feel the need to enforce your lifestyle on children? If you want to bring change, then you advocate to adults. You advocate to people who can bring about change. You don't advocate and promote towards children for change. Kids can't do anything besides imitate what they are showed by adults. So you doing this in front of children sets a bad example, sets a bad precedence for children, especially when these children are too young to even know what sex is, let alone homosexuality. Okay? It's very irresponsible to promote anything that's LGBT to children. Very irresponsible. It's indicative that there is a agenda. There is an agenda right now, and the agenda is directed at children, and most specifically black children. Why? Because of depopulation. And that's what that is all about. There is no reason why anybody from the LGBT community should be advocating for a curriculum, should be advocating for promoting the lifestyle of LGBT people to children. But look what they're doing. Now, so this is okay. I can't watch this shit anymore. This is a fucking man. This is a man. It's not a woman. This is a man. Okay? This is a man. Now, the funny thing about this story, hold on. Funny thing about this, watch this. I don't want no stock photo. No. I don't want Snopes. Hold on. Second drag queen story hour reader in Houston exposed as a convicted child sex offender. So you got these LGBT people, transgender males, over here trying to read to children. Lo and behold, they're registered sex offenders. They are registered sex offenders. What the LGBT is doing is opening the door for pedophilia. They have already opened that door for pedophilia. They've already opened it. Okay, we're past their opening the door. They have already opened the door for pedophilia. Okay, so this is why you can't just allow your children to be exposed to any fucking thing. Okay, Houston Library features convicted child molester reading trans books to children. This is in my city. This is in my city. This is the transgender male right here. This is the pedophile right here. Look at all these children. You even have parents over here sitting with the children. You know what's interesting? You don't see a lot of black children in here. You really don't see a lot of black children in here. Pretty interesting. Black parents ain't really jacking for that shit. Black parents, you know, we got more sense than that. Look at this white lady with her daughter, with her child. It's as if I bet you this white lady is a lesbian. I bet you she's a lesbian. I bet you she's a lesbian. Look what he has his child wearing. It's as if she was prepared for a child to see somebody of the LGBT community. Interesting. Interesting. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. So y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful having your children unsupervised or having these children supervised by these adults who allow activity like this to go on. Y'all better be fucking careful. Y'all better be careful. But anyway, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. That's been today's session. If y'all like this video, leave a like. Y'all want to make a comment on it, please leave your comments. And if you feel that this was informational, educational, beneficial, please share this video. And we want to make people more aware of what's going on out here in these streets. You feel me? It's your boy 100, aka 100, aka Chaz, aka Orion. I'm your host with the most. It's time to go. Peace. Y'all be safe.